Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Drone Wars. And, well, things here are about to get a lot more interesting. I mean, there's 4 planets left. There's definitely a lot of conflict going on the map here. I mean, you can see how big some of these empires are starting to get. I mean, poor Alliance over there only has 4 planets left, and then Rogue Shipwrights just has their one little stronghold and practically no income, so they're pretty much screwed. Um, The Red Sun Empire has a little fortress in the middle of the Delta Shipyards area. That should be fine until Delta Shipyards steamrolls them with whatever ships they have. So we're going to go out through these all one by one, and we're going to see what happens here. I'll go and show you guys the battles that happens, and of course we'll update the map as we go. Alright, here we are, and well, I'm just going to say that some interesting things have happened here. So the Alliance up here, what they've decided to do is that they've decided to do quite a bit of expansion out here. They've decided to go retake their old homeworld again, and then, they expanded into Federation territory. They're actually right next to the Federation homeworld with their carrier. So that's pretty good, just moving around, expanding, building up some new fleets. So nothing too crazy. The Federation, though, they didn't take that too well, and they stockpiled a massive amount of money that they decided to kind of just spend almost all of it all at once. So they're pretty much next to broke now, but oh boy, I think let me just show you what they made. So right out here in the middle of nowhere, I believe it's, no, it was at this shipyard, they decided to build a new fleet, and they moved it straight up, taking another of the Alliance's worlds. However, the Alliance decided to kind of just, move back a little bit, just away from the Federation. Yeah, they have 2 carriers, a battleship, a corvette, and a fighter, which is not too much of a fleet, except when you consider that each carrier also carries its own squadrons of fighters. So that's a pretty massive fleet that moved up here and turned this into another fortress world for the Federation. And I'm pretty sure that fleet is going to be hunting down the Alliance and possibly even the Red Sun Empire in the coming episodes. Then the Federation, they know that this shipyard down here is very vulnerable to pirates, so they've decided to build another fleet down here, which is another carrier with some corvettes and fighters, I believe, right? Yeah, so they've decided to build another fleet here, which is going to protect that world from the pirates, which I'm pretty sure the pirates are like preparing to attack that world or something. They have a lot of fleets around here. Anyways, we're gonna go over to the battle that's gonna happen over here. Delta Shipyards really doesn't like that there is a bit of a hole in their empire, so they decided to send one of their new carrier fleets to go deal with it. So over here, a fortress world is going to be taking on a carrier, a battleship, and some corvettes. So this is going to be an interesting fight, and we'll see what happens here. Pretty sure the fortress world won't last very long, but we'll see if they can maybe take out a few ships. I'll see you guys there. Alright, hello everyone. We're back on Salos here, and well, we're preparing for a massive battle that's going to take place. We've got a level 1 fortress out here, and then we have a massive fleet all the way out here that's going to be taking on that fortress. As you can see here, it's of course the carrier, the battleship, about 8 fighters, which all fit within the carrier. Then we got 3 corvettes surrounding that, so it's a pretty well-rounded fleet, and they're going to be going after this fortress. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to go ahead and move that fortress just a little bit so that all those ships can actually see it. It just helps to make sure that there's no blind spots here and that all the ships actually go to it. Right here should be fine. Here we go. Let's see here. Okay, everything is looking good here. I'm going to go ahead and teleport myself a bit closer here, and we're going to go ahead and declare war and watch this battle take place here. Massive hit, specifically trying to go after the carrier here, and I think they just missed it as it's going down to try and avoid getting hit. You can see all these fighters and corvettes are going straight for the fortress, and of course that battleship is also moving in. But that carrier is deciding to sit back a little bit. Alright. All these ships are now starting to fire away with all their cannons and everything, and of course that carrier should be moving in as well, very slowly. Lots of shots moving in. I think they barely missed the battleship. Seems they're really trying to go after it. If it like that, yeah. If that shot hit, it would have penetrated almost all the way through, which would have been fatal. Because your missiles are already starting to fire at all these. Shots are starting to move in, starting to hit some of these ships. Of course, you can see that the carrier in the back is also participating with the long-range weapons. There's already some anti-missile defenses going off here. I think that actually hit. Or did it just barely miss? No, it seems like it definitely hit. Took out one of those thrusters, two of the thrusters actually. Okay, we're already starting to get heavily into range here. Lots of damage being done. I think some of these corvettes are going in to try to get some more fatal hits on the base here. Ouch. They're immediately just trying to take care of the main gun, which is pretty much the biggest threat here. You can see those corvettes are just kind of flying away after ramming into the base here. One of them probably might slam into the ground there, so that's not great. But if he can still fly away, then he'll be fine. Yeah, he's still fine. There's still plenty of autocannons here trying to do whatever they can. And of course the carrier is still moving in the back, right over there. Fighters are definitely doing whatever they can to just shoot out all those different weapons here. Yep, here comes the carrier. That carrier is definitely going to have some much more powerful weapons to deal with this base. See, most of his weapons are already starting to go down here, but there's still plenty still trying to do as much damage as they can. I think they're specifically targeting the battleship right now. I mean, some of them are going after the fighters, I think. Oh, here comes the carrier, which is now moving in with all of its firepower. They should run out of turrets pretty soon. It is getting hit with a lot of, that's a lot. Only a few more turrets left, and they're being completely wiped out by all these other weapons. Alright, it seems like all the main defensive turrets are completely down. We'll just see if there's any corvettes that passed away here. Are these guys still flight worthy? Or are they just sitting there? Yep, they're still flight worthy. Well, maybe not that one, but yeah, if that's the case, then there's only been one loss, which is just that one corvette. Everything else seems to be perfectly fine and alive. So I'll go ahead and go back to the board, and we'll go ahead and update it. Alright, hello again. Down here, Delta Shipyards has successfully reclaimed their planet here, so they have that. That's going to help them out a lot because now they don't have to deal with internal struggles and they have a little more of a buffer here in case one of the other factions decides to move in. However, they really don't like that they had that happen, so they're sending one of their older fleets to do the exact same thing. So they're sending their fleet that was here all the way up directly into the Red Sun Empire's territory, and that's going to go straight into a battle here on the Peram Dunes. So of course it's a Sparrow Corvette with 4 fighters versus 3 Vipers and 2 Goliath fighters. So we're going to go and see what happens here. This is going to be a really interesting battle. Alright, hello, we're back on Peram, here on the dunes, and this is going to be a wild battle. So it's a tournament type battle. We're going to have 5 ships versus 5 ships, and we're going to spawn them one at a time. I assign them all random numbers so they have their orders, and we're going to go ahead and see how they do. So let's go ahead and get 1 Goliath versus 1 K4 fighter. These are the first 2 ships. Alright, I wish them luck. Yep, that was pretty short. Okay, so the Goliath lost that battle, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the Goliath from the roster here, and then we move on to the second ship, which is a Viper. This fighter needs to really get moving, or else it's going to get destroyed by that Corvette. But if you can get a good aim on that Corvette, you might actually be able to do a lot of damage. definitely taking a lot more damage than it should be. Ooh, that was a fatal shot. I think he's going down now. Yep, there he goes. They're really making sure he's down. So I'm going to go and remove that ship from the roster here. And we're going to go ahead and spawn in the next ship here, which is another Type K4 fighter. Of course, we're going to have to make sure that the Corvette over there is still capable of flight. Yeah, it should be. Let's go and just make sure it's flying, like so. Nope, doesn't seem capable of flight on this planet anymore. So go and remove that one. And we're going to spawn in another one. Now they're both going to try to take off and get them distance from each other. If this fighter can actually get a really good vantage point, it's going to do a lot of damage. But that is if it can get some distance. Alright, here they go. Can't even line up his shots. He's definitely trying, but he's being torn apart here. That's not great, he got rammed. Somehow the fighter is still alive, but he's still trying to do whatever he can. He's gonna fire away with everything he's got. And that railgun does a lot of damage. Ooh, I think that might have been a finishing blow. He's going down for sure. That was a fatal hit. So I'm going to remove everything that's small grid here. I think the Corvette also decided to crash into the ground over here, so I don't even know if it's still alive. Oh yeah, it's definitely not alive, so both of them lost that fight there. Let me go ahead and update the roster here. So now it's Corvette versus Corvette. Alright, immediately these two ships are going to try to get away from each other if they can. I think that Viper has lost. Oh yeah, it's definitely lost enough thrust. That Sparrow completely wipes the floor there. So now it's just a single Goliath fighter. Now that fighter might actually be able to do something against this Corvette, because that Corvette's a anti-large grid or anti-capital ship. Yeah, anti-capital ship type of ship. So those cannons are going to have a very difficult time trying to hit this fighter. But if they do hit, then this fighter is done for. That turret will definitely help out a little bit. Nope, never mind. That fighter died instantly. Alright, well, the Great Red Sun Empire has won this tournament. We'll go ahead and update the board, and we'll see what happens from there. Alright, here we are back at the board. Well, Delta Shipyards failed to, do the same thing that the Great Red Sun Empire did to them. They basically just put a stop right there at that planet with really high gravity. So that means that they're a little more open to attack from here. They do have a fleet right here to help defend at least a little bit, and they still need to deal with these unexplored planets, which might give them a little more leverage against some of the other factions. Now, it's the Pirate Empire's turn over here, and, well, they're going to send their weakest fleet of fighters straight over here towards this shipyard. And I don't know if they're aware of how many ships are at this shipyard. There are 2 entire fleets with battleships here, so I don't know what their plan was to begin with, but we're gonna see what happens. Alright, here we are. Welcome to Teal. This battle is completely hopeless. I'll just show you why. So the Pirate Empire have sent their 5 fighters from their weakest fleet. As you can see here, here it is in the triangle formation. And well, to look at the force that they're going up against, this is one of 2 fleets, by the way, so they're just going to face off against this one. If by some absolute like 0.0000001% chance that they win, they can fight the second fleet after that, but their chances of winning this are extremely minimal. You got 1 anti-fighter battleship, you got 3 fighters, you got 2 cruisers, which are designed with up-close and personal combat in mind. Specifically, those burst fire cannons will just incinerate any fighters that get too close. Then you got a handful of corvettes on all sides, to help flush out the fleet here. Yeah, I don't think the pirates are going to win this, but we'll see what happens here. It's just a simple battle. Those pirates are going to need a miracle. So immediately all ships are going up into the air. We're going to go up here to look at this from a fighter's perspective here. Let's turn off the signals here just so you can see what this looks like. There's already some long-range shots coming in. Those fighters as well. Yeah, lots of these fighters have already fallen down to the ocean down there. It appears that there's one more fighter over here that's still alive. Or at least was alive. So I think pretty much all the fighters died there. We'll see if there's any casualties at all on the other side. Are there any Goliath fighters left? One is dead, two is dead. Okay, so they at least cover the fighters. But it seems like all the corvettes are perfectly fine because they're able to float. Alright, well, we'll go back to the board and update that, and we'll see what the pirates do next. Alright, here we are, down here with the pirates. They've essentially just built another fleet of frigates at their home world, and then they're going to use their the last action on their turn to, well, move one of their oldest fleets, fleet number 3, up to finish off the Shipwrights if they can, just that last fortress world. It's just one frigate and 3 fighters versus a fortress in the teal snowfields. So we're going to go over there and do that real quick. Alright, here we are, over here in the snow, or salt, or whatever it is, out here on Teal. And, well, here's the fleet. 1 frigate, 3 fighters versus a fortress. You guys know the drill. Alright, so immediately the frigate and the fighters are going to start moving. Those fighters are going to move significantly faster than the frigate. And that frigate's going to try to orient itself a little bit. Some massive shots coming in. Okay, that frigate really needs to move in soon. Or else those fighters are going to get torn apart. Let me go and repaste them to see if you can actually see it. There we go. So now he's moving in, and we go over here. You can see lots of shots going in. They're all trying to take out those fighters as soon as possible, as those fighters are really going quickly. They're trying to do whatever evasive maneuvers they can. They're actually going up and out of the atmosphere, which is neat. Ooh, some missiles are starting to hit though, so those are going to be very dangerous. Yep, there goes one fighter. The other fighters are going to go in from above and try to fight with as many missiles as they can. But those fighters are not going to last very long. They need to really move. Pretty soon that frigate is also going to get in range and start firing its cannons. Yep, there are the cannons. Seems like all those fighters are pretty much being shot down. So pretty soon that cannon's gonna change targets. Yep. Here it goes. That was a massive hit. Bit of a risky maneuver for that frigate there. Ouch. Just barely dodged that. That would have gone straight through. He needs to take out that cannon as soon as possible, or else he's not going to stand a chance. He's also trying to take out some of these other turrets, which are fairly strong in terms of their health. Oh, cannon's basically disabled now. He just needs to take out all the other autocannons, which are very easily piercing through his armor. If this keeps up, he's not going to be airborne for that long. Definitely doing some damage, and they're piercing into his armor here. They've actually gone through his entire frontal hull, so now they're just digging in. They're starting to aim for the thrusters and back. You can see the cannons are starting to change targets, going after the other turrets over here. There we go, another turret destroyed. There's only about 3 turrets left. Make that 2. Yep, just one more. Just like that, all the defenses on this base are pretty much destroyed. And that frigate is still alive. So we'll go ahead and go to the board and we'll update the fleet, and we'll update that the rogue shipwrights are completely gone. That was the last thing they had. Alright, well, not much has really happened. I'll go through essentially what went down. So yeah, the pirates have successfully taken over the last of the rogue shipwrights. In fact, there's actually barely any traces that rogue shipwrights even existed. I mean, there's just like 2 little lines there which show where they've been, but that's about it. Rogue Shipwrights is no more. So that's unfortunate. The Great Red Sun Empire, they've done some stuff over here. I mean, for one, they sent one of their fleets down, you know, to move in on the Delta shipyards down here. So they've taken over a mining world and made a fortress world. Or actually it was a colony world, but you know. They have a little more of another world to defend themselves there, you know, slowly expanding out this way. They've actually got pretty good control over their territory over there. They've made another fleet. It's mostly fighters and a corvette, so nothing too special. That's all the way in their home world, so they can move it anywhere they want, either to the right or down. Um, then with their last action point, they decided, we have a fleet that consists of a single fighter, and there's all these enemies all around us, so we're just gonna like send it down here, you know, fight the cruiser and lose really badly. It really wasn't worth recording, but yeah, that fleet is no more. A single fighter is gone, which means that they have another space open for building more fleets. But that does leave this world open to attack. It is a fortress world, so it's going to take a little more than just going in to take that world, but there's nothing really defending it other than that fortress, and there is enemies all around. So let's actually just take a step back and look at the bigger picture here with all the fleets. Um, the new Galactic Alliance is in a very tough situation here. Um, they're going to need to find a way to expand into Federation territory or Great Red Sun Empire territory. There's no in between. They can go for the world on the top right, which will give them, just a little bit of a buffer, a little bit of a safe haven for now. They're also going, another thing they can do is go after that fortress world I mentioned before. Since there's not really too much there, they can take that, and at least that gives them a little more there, so they're not just a line here. I think their biggest threat is this this massive fleet here. 2 carriers and a battleship. Yeah, they're not going to be able to take that on, no matter what they have. They need to make a lot of income if they want to make a fleet that's able to take on that. So that's going to be a major threat. If they're lucky, they'll go after rogue shipwrights. They're not rogue shipwrights. Great Red Sun Empire all over there. But that's if they're lucky. More than likely, it was made specifically to take out the Alliance. So the Alliance really is struggling over here. The Federation, they can send that fleet to go just wipe out the rest of the Alliance, and they could also just go after Great Red Sun Empire. I'm stuck on rogue shipwrights because they've been completely wiped out. That's unfortunate. Rest in peace. Yeah. Another thing they have to deal with, they don't have to deal with Delta Shipyards all that much because Delta is just, in that corner there. The Great Red Sun Empire will become a significant threat to them later if they don't do something about that. I mean, they could pretty much easily spread down here and become more of like, on their edge of their border here. The pirates are also going to become a big issue because, well, the Alliance is right next to the home. Actually, I just realized there is nothing defending the homeworld here. If the Alliance really wanted to, they could send their carrier here straight down and just take the homeworld. That'd be a major blow to the Federation. Alright, but moving on from them, the pirates here. Pirates are in a bit of a weird predicament because they've got a shipyard right here, which is not great. They've got a carrier fleet over there, carriers and corvettes. They have lots of fleets around here just protecting, at least making sure the Federation can't expand over here, but that's a really significant threat they need to deal with. What they can do is they can actually probably send this one frigate up through here and actually move into Federation territory, at least cutting resources off from the Federation so they're not as powerful. Because right now the Federation has pretty much the most territory, the most planets, and the most money, in terms of their income, at least. The pirates also have to deal with Delta Shipyards, but Delta Shipyards is kind of dealing with the Great Red Sun Empire instead of pirates. I don't know. I mean, Delta Shipyards is in a weird situation where they got invaders from the north and invaders from the east. They gotta figure out what to do. I mean, aside from that, pirates, they should just move their fleets to the left here and really just try to deal with Delta. That's probably the biggest concern for now, protecting that homeworld of theirs. The Federation is a very strong opponent, and I don't think they have the resources to fight that at the moment, so they need to deal with Delta first. Delta's in a bit of a... they need to build up more fleets, of course. They do have some very powerful fleets, and they can easily just move all these fleets over towards the Pirate Empire and deal with the Pirate Empire before they do anything else. Actually, because of their situation, they need to divide their forces into two. They need forces to go up to defend from one empire while they deal with the other, try to shrink them down. That's the only way they can be able to really survive this. Great Red Sun Empire they're in a really good spot here. They got that corner well protected, and they have a lot of fortress worlds. Not great income, so they're not able to make a lot of ships, but because of how aggressive they've been playing, they've been weakening their opponents and basically just expanding with very little resistance, which has been working really well for them. At least until one of the factions decides to focus on them and send a major fleet in their direction, but for now they're fine. If they really wanted to, they actually have the opportunity to expand into these planets here, and that'd give them a huge foothold. In fact, if they took over those four planets, they'd basically be on even footing with the Federation itself. So that's that. I guess that's about it for this episode. We'll see in the next episode how the factions do, and we're going to see if the Alliance continues to expand or if it shrinks. Right now, the Alliance is not doing great compared to the other factions, and I believe the Federation is one of the most powerful at the moment. Definitely by a long shot. But who knows? I'll see you guys in the next episode. Have a good one.